we could skip the pleasantries and you could just come right in so we don't interrupt it. But that's your call. Well, sorry, TSN News. How long does that run for? Okay, so we won't interrupt too much then. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, James Terry at KSST Radio, and this is in fact the sports director over there, Ross Lubinsky, here at the SSHS main gym with my esteemed colleague who's always shooting video for us. Doug Haston is always shooting video for all of our YouTube watchers. But we've got a great matchup here tonight at the SSHS main gym as Wildcats basketball hosts the Marshall Mavericks for both teams' first district contest. A great district opener between two pretty good teams. The Wildcats have had a really hot start to their season. It's currently sitting at 14-5. Last week they went 1-1. With a forfeit win at Arlington Heights. They were about to get on the bus, all ready to go, and Coach Shaver got word that they had a couple of players out with COVID. So they accepted the forfeit win on Tuesday, and then Friday we're back in Arlington, back in the old Ag, with a close loss to a top-ranked Arlington Heights basketball team, 61-57, so just a 4-point loss. But again, Sulphur Springs is here looking to avoid a potential 2-game losing streak, which would be the first for Wildcats basketball this season and for Coach Brandon Shaver in his still young tenure here in Sulphur Springs in his first year. But as I was saying, Wildcats have never had a 2-game losing streak under Coach Brandon Shaver's tenure here in this young season, currently sitting at 14-5. And on top of that, not only is this the district opener, but this is the 5th Wildcats basketball game here in the SSHS main gym. The Wildcats are a perfect 4-0 up to this point, with wins on November 16th versus Paris, November 27th versus Henderson, right around that Thanksgiving time. The following Tuesday versus Rockwall, a close one. And then the last game that me and Doug covered for KSST Radio 2 full weeks ago in the win, a lopsided win versus Royce City. So that's how the Wildcats are 4-0 at home. And we've got another great game for you here today between the Wildcats basketball team and the 3-9 Marshall Mavericks. Marshall no doubt had some cancellations due to COVID-19, something that's completely out of their control. But I'm sure Coach Bobby Carson would have loved to get his team all the action they could have before district play begins right here during Christmas break for both of these schools. But that is the warm-up clock hitting the 000s, and we will have the national anthem here in just a moment.
Me.
Always excellent to get that national anthem from Coach Brandon Shaver's wife as she gives some high fives to her husband's team. And we are about ready to get this game underway, but not before we get the starting five for both of these teams, starting with the visiting Marshall Mavericks. For the Wildcats starting five. Both teams' starting fives announced. We are about ready to get the district opener for the men's basketball team between Coach Brandon Shaver's Wildcats and Coach Bobby Carson's Marshall Mavericks. Again, the Wildcats come into this game with a 14-5 record. Marshall had a couple of cancellations, looking to get some more wins in that win column at 3-9. It will be a tough one, no doubt, as they will take on a very tough Sulphur Springs team who is coached by Brandon Shaver and again has emphasized all season long about how important winning at home is, and that 4-0 home record and potential 1-0 district record can come in doubt if Marshall gets the win. But the Wildcats looking to avoid a two-game losing streak for the first time all season long, and it'll start with the tip-off, which goes Marshall's way. Starting five for the Marshall Mavericks is McCoy, Roberson, Smith, and Robinson, and White. But Robinson has the ball right now, trying to drive all the way to the bucket, and he has a pretty good look, and he gets it. First bucket on the game is scored by Demar Roberson, and he gets a field goal to put Marshall up 2-0 over Sulphur Springs. Marshall pressing from the get-go, and wow, a nice job there on defense by Geico McCoy to jump into the passing lane and send it out of bounds. It was intended for Parker Wisenhunt there, but instead, Wisenhunt will be inbounding it. He tries to get to Corcher Turner just outside the paint. He is triple defended. Lots of guys there, so he dumps it off to Justin Hare, and Hare airballs it. Tough call there. Just did not have the air underneath it to make it into that field goal, so it'll stay a 2-0 lead for Marshall. Looking to add on to their lead right now, 2-0. Roberson was the field goal scorer for Marshall on the last possession. And Wildcats giving them a taste of their own medicine, pressing them from full court. And wow, a nice bucket there. That was number 11 on the call, Robinson. So Roberson and Robinson have scored for Sulphur Springs. For Marshall. They lead 4-0. And once again, the Mavericks pressing like none other. Kason Arrington has it now. It's Branson Lynn in front of that Marshall bench, heavily guarded by number 2 Knox. He instead gets it out to Wisenhunt near the top of the key. Forces it to Corcher Turner. Back to Wisenhunt, trying to drive into the paint. Really clogging up that paint. Not going to allow any incredible scores for Sulphur Springs to drive into it and put up an easy layup. They still lead 4-0. Turnover. And wow, number 3 drives all the way to the basket. That's Roberson, his second field goal in this first quarter. And a minute and a half into this game, and Sulphur Springs facing a 6-0 deficit. So Sulphur Springs Marshall not going to give up an inch. And Marshall fans wanted to travel, but instead Corcher Turner trying to get all the way to the bucket, puts the layup in, and is fouled. So a chance for a 3-point play here from the forward, Corcher Turner. And they will give him the bucket, so one free throw coming up here for the forward, Corcher Turner. nice layup there. Incredible patience, waiting for the defender to come down on him so he could put the shot up, get fouled, and get the bucket. Free throws coming up here. Bounces out of the rim. No good there. It'll stay a 6-2 ball game. Marshall leads by 4 now. And once again, taking it down court is DeMar Roberson. Roberson guarded by Branson Lynn near midcourt, trying to shake his defender Lynn, but instead he'll have to try again to drive all the way to the paint, but it's taken away by Parker Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt gets it to Corger Turner, trying to drive all the way to the bucket, but he is fouled. So it looks like the foul was called on number 20. Number 20 is not on the court, so personal foul nonetheless on Marshall. Their second here in the first quarter. They are out fouling Sulphur Springs here early, 2-0. Branson Lynn with it, trying to drive to the bucket. He dumps it off to Corger Turner, tries to get another three-point play. His field goal is no good, but he goes to the line. So the foul on Corger Turner sends him right back to the line, and it looks like it was called on number 2, Knox. So as far as I can tell, I believe that's his second straight personal foul on back-to-back possessions for the Wildcat offense. So no doubt probably going to be subbed out here in a moment, but Corger Turner is able to make this free throw after he went 0 for 1 from the line just a couple minutes ago. He got the field goal, but not the free throw, and on this occasion, he did not get the field goal, but he made one free throw. So now he's got 4 points in this game. I'm sorry, 3 points in this game. 1 of 2 from the line there, so 1 of 3 in total for Corger Turner. Wildcats trail by 3 now at 6-3, under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sulphur Springs looking to go 1-0 in district, but Marshall giving them a lot of trouble here early as we are only 2 minutes into this contest. And the Wildcats have been able to chip into that Marshall lead as they once trailed 6-0. But Sulphur Springs still trailing by 3 now, and a turnover there by DeMar Roberson. Thought maybe that might have gone the other way, and Marshall might have kept on to it, but instead, Wisenhunt will be inbounding it to Branson Lynn. Lynn guarded once again by Knox. Very good defender, Knox is, and you see exactly why, as he's able to really take care of Branson Lynn. Corger Turner with a nice pass from Justin Hare, and the bucket. Corger Turner really showing up for this Sulphur Springs team here early as he has all 5 of the Wildcats' points. They trail by 1 now, 6-5. Under 5.5 to go in the first quarter. It's Roberson looking to Knox. Knox tries to get a dunk, but it's blocked away. Wow. Great defense there from Justin Hare. It's recovered by Sulphur Springs before going out of bounds, which would have gone the Wildcats' way anyway. Branson Lynn with it. He gets it over to Parker Wisenhunt. Then Hare for 3. Pump fake. Goes, drives all the way to the bucket. He is fouled, so no bucket there, but he will have 2 free throws coming up. Another foul there from Marshall, and they are out fouling Sulphur Springs by 3 at this moment in time. 4-1. Hare with his first free throw. No good there. Looking to go 0 for 1 from the line here and tie this ball game if he can make this second free throw. Which would no doubt be big for Sulphur Springs as they were once trailing big. Ooh. 2 missed free throws from Justin Hare, and it stays a 1-point deficit for Sulphur Springs at 6-5. 5 minutes exactly in this first quarter, as Sulphur Springs now starting to press the Marshall Mavericks, just like the Mavericks did here early in this game. And a nice call there by Roberson. It looked like it kind of bounced off of Arrington's foot, went out of bounds on Sulphur Springs, so we'll stay with the Mavericks. Marshall now will be inbounding it from Robinson. Robinson looking White's way. He's got Branson Lynn guarding him once again. Ooh, nice behind the back bounce there from White, trying to drive to the bucket. He's guarded by Lynn, and wow, Hare almost came down with the rebound, but instead it was a Marshall player there. Oh goodness, Branson Lynn with the behind the look pass, and Cason Arrington trying to drive to the bucket, but he is fouled. The 5th foul from Marshall here early in this first quarter, and really out fouling Sulphur Springs now by 4 at 5-1. Sulphur Springs still trailing by 1 at 6-5. Just over 4.5 to go in this first. And Arrington gets his first point here in the game thanks to a field goal, and looking to make his second one if he can hit the second. Great shot there from Cason Arrington to go 2 for 2 from the line and give Sulphur Springs their first lead here in this game at 7-6. Under 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Wildcats pressing Marshall pretty intensely, not giving DeMar Roberson a chance to drive his way to the bucket like he did here early in this contest. Roberson right in front of that scorer's table. He is guarded by Wisenhunt. Once again, trying to drive all the way to the bucket. Wow, nice pass there to, I believe that was number 0, Geico McCoy. His first field goal in this contest, back to a 1-point lead for Marshall at 8-7. Nice pass there to Justin Hare, but he loses control of the ball and it's taken away. That is Robinson, who just got field goal mere seconds ago, and now Marshall taking it back, looking to build on this 1-point lead at 8-7. And wow, Robertson's called for the travel there. He will turn it over. I didn't quite see it from up here, but point remains the same. It'll go with Sulphur Springs. Lynn trying to give his Wildcats the lead as we are under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter, and his team trails by 1, 8-7. Hare tries to get the rebound, and he somehow does. Looks like maybe Marshall had a chance to come down with it. Wisenhunt for 3. Off the rim, no good. Hare gets the rebound, puts up the layup, and knocks it in. So Justin Hare with his first field goal in this game, and it gives the Wildcats back the lead at 9-8. Roberson and Marshall looking to respond now, but instead, it's a turnover there. Marshall turns the ball over, giving the ball right back to the Wildcats. And now, Wisenhunt gives it to Lynn. Lynn taking it past midcourt. Back to Wisenhunt, back to Lynn. Then over to Caleb Alexander behind the line in front of that Marshall bench to Justin Hare at the free throw line. Nice dump off to Wisenhunt for 3. And he nails it. Wisenhunt nails his first field goal in this game, a 3-pointer to give the Wildcats a 4-point lead, their largest lead here in this contest at 12-8. Marshall, led by Harris, trying to get the ball to a player, and he's called for the 5-second violation. That is a turnover for Marshall. Give the ball right back to Sulphur Springs. Marshall players trying to figure out what went wrong on that possession. All their hands were kind of up in the shrugging position, like I don't know what just happened, but Lynn has it. Then over to Alexander. He is deep behind the line. Back to Lynn for a deep 3. Oh my goodness, and he just drilled that 3. And that was a far out one too. I mean, that was at least 4 feet behind the line. A long 3-pointer for Branson Lynn to give the Wildcats a 7-point lead. 3-point shot from Marshall's no good. They do come down with the rebound. It's number 14, and it's back over to number 1, Harris. Harris trying to shake his defender, Caleb Alexander. He gives it off to Robinson. His shot's no good. Corja Turner gets the rebound. Sulphur Springs taking it back the other way. Lynn with his neon orange shoes. Corja Turner, beautiful sky pass to Parker Wisenhunt, and he is called for the offensive foul. Tough call there on the guard Parker Wisenhunt with 3 points. His 3-pointer made on the last possession for Sulphur Springs before he was called for the charge. So we'll go back to Marshall. They trail by 7 just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. They trail 15-8. Once again, it's Harris with it. Then back to DeMar Roberson, who's had 4 of Marshall's 8 points, so half the scoring output for these Mavericks here in the first quarter. And the bounce pass intended for a Marshall Maverick is intercepted by Parker Wisenhunt, taking back the other way. It's to Caleb Alexander on the near side, over to Branson Lynn, deep 3. And he drills another one. His second 3 in this quarter, and the third for Wildcats basketball in the first. They have a 10-point lead now. Really ballooning for the Wildcats basketball team as the one point they trailed 6-0, but now they lead 18-8. Marshall looking to get a response, and Roberson almost loses control of the ball, trying to drive all the way to the bucket, and he is fouled by Wisenhunt. That was number 11, Robinson, who was fouled on the play. And Wisenhunt just collected his second personal foul in about 2 minutes of game time. So Wisenhunt being subbed out for Malachi Miles. Great player coming off the bench. Something my predecessor Don Julian and I talked about as the basketball season was still young. Talked about how good he was coming off the bench, and we'll see how he is here in his first appearance in this game in the Wildcats district opener versus the Marshall Mavericks. Sulphur Springs leads 18-8. Roberson trying to make it an 8-point lead, and he does just that on the layup, driving all the way to the bucket. And he has 6 of Marshall's 10 points. Malachi Miles touching the ball for the first time in this game. Tries to touch it, but it does not go up. Branson Lynn gets his second shot. Hare tries to put up a shot, but he is fouled. And they will not give him the field goal attempt. They will say he was planted on the ground when he was fouled. So Sulphur Springs will be inbounding it on the Marshall side of the court. So good half-court opportunity here for Coach Brandon Shaver's Wildcats. Men's basketball team lead 18-10 over Marshall in their district opener. Almost a turnover there, and it is a turnover. Trying to get at something out of nothing, but this possession's just gone completely awry for Marshall. Justin Hare somehow comes down with it after a sloppy couple of plays from both teams. Malachi Miles trying to drive to the bucket. Instead, he gives it to Caleb Alexander for three. No good. Falls just south of the rim. Malachi Miles with his second chance, and he gets it. Miles gets a field goal and gets his first points in this contest as the Wildcats lead by 10 at 20-10. Under 20 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Wildcats not looking to give up any last-second points to Marshall, which can really amp up an opponent. Porter Turner gets the steal, gets to Caleb Alexander, back to Turner. Ooh, and misses the field goal, but Malachi Miles gets it. Wow. 2 straight field goals for Malachi Miles, and the Wildcats go into the second quarter leading 22-10. Big scoring from multiple Wildcats, and they take a huge 12-point lead heading into the second over the Marshall Mavericks in their district opener. We're going to take a timeout with both of these teams, and when we return, we will have the second quarter of an exciting game coming up. Yes. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym, and perfect timing as always, James Terry, as both teams have left their huddles and the Wildcats are walking onto the court as we speak, ready to get the second quarter underway between the Marshall Mavericks and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats in both teams' district opener. The Wildcats got a huge 22-10 lead thanks to good even scoring from their team. And Cordarian Bull Turner with his first appearance in this game. He inbounds it to Caleb Alexander, then to Malachi Miles, back to Alexander, right back to Miles. Miles in front of that Marshall bench behind the line. He is being double-teamed and triple-teamed. And looks like Bull was fouled there. Almost said Bull was Turnered. But looks like Robinson will be the player called for the foul. And he is indeed. That's Robinson's second foul here in this contest. And just 15 seconds into the second. And that's definitely not what your head coach wants from one of your starting five, is 2 fouls early in this game, and in a game in which they sorely need to get back in the win column at 3-9. Bull Turner, this first field goal, and at the free throws, no good. So it will be Marshall taking it back now. Rebound by the Mavericks, still facing a 12-point deficit at 22-10. Roberson tries to put something up. Instead, Hill comes down with it. Robinson over to White, being guarded intensely by Malachi Miles, not wanting to give him an inch. White trying to go all the way to the bucket, and wow, he almost does just that, but his shot did not fall. Porter Turner gets the board and gives it to Miles, who, wow, tries to get something to Caleb Alexander, but instead it's almost knocked away by Marshall. Alexander now has it after the recovery from Turner. Now Bull Turner has it, then over to Malachi Miles on the far side in front of that Marshall bench. Back to Bull, back to Miles. Miles guarded by Knox there, and then it goes to Caleb Alexander near the top of the key. No look pass to Miles. Right back to Alexander for 3. Off the rim, no good. Bull tries to get the second chance shot, but Porter Turner gets it. That's Turner's 7th point here in this game. and a big part of the scoring for the Wildcats. Marshall calls a timeout, so we're going to take a quick timeout with them, and when we return, we'll have more of this second quarter for the Wildcats basketball team's district opener here in Sulphur Springs coming up. Welcome back to the main gym at Sulphur Springs High School as the Wildcats basketball team have a 14-point lead over Marshall in their district opener. The Wildcats trailed at 1.6 to nothing, but have come roaring back, now leading by 14 at 24-10. White from Marshall has the ball, being guarded by Miles. He trying to drive to the bucket, but it looks like he was fouled by Miles. And fouled by Miles he was, as that's guard Malachi Miles' his first personal foul here in this game. And it was not a shooting foul. They said White was on the ground when he was fouled by Miles. So it'll be inbounded from Marshall. White looking to get it to Roberson, but wow. Fouled by Bull Turner on the reach-in. And that's Bull's first personal foul here in this game. Personal fouls starting to add up for Sulphur Springs as they've got two quick ones. And just about back-to-back. Roberson, point guard for the Mavericks, taking it past midcourt. Trying to shake his defender, Bull Turner. He gets it to White, guarded by Miles. Trying to shake and bake his defender, but to no avail. Miles has really good feet and is quick on them. Trying to drive to the bucket, but it looks like he lost control of the ball, and it might have been kicked. And it looks like that's what the referee was saying, so. But it was kicked out of bounds by the Wildcats. White will be inbounding it in front of the Sulphur Springs bench. Cordier Turner sits, and pass on a ride there for Marshall as Caleb Alexander intercepts it. Looks like it was almost aimed for him. Then Kason Arrington thinks about putting up the three, decides against it, but Caleb Alexander puts up one. And he nails it. 5 points scored here in this second quarter. A field goal by Cordier Turner, who's now sitting. And then Caleb Alexander with his first points in the game. A three-pointer as the Wildcats lead by 17, 27-10. Number 11, Robinson with the ball now, guarded by Kason Arrington, the big man for Sulphur Springs. White trying to drive all the way to the bucket, tries to get a shot up around Justin Hare, but to no avail. Stays a 17-point deficit for Marshall. Justin Hare now taking it back the other way after the rebound. Gets it to Caleb Alexander, then over to Miles in front of this line. Then over to Hare. Hare really thought about putting up the three, but it's decided against it, and wisely, if I must say so. Miles gets the ball, walking up right outside the paint and the free throw line, but instead he'll be called for the double dribble. Coach Brandon Shaver couldn't believe the call there, and I was a little surprised by it myself, but it will go the other way for Marshall. Still a 17-point deficit for the Mavericks at 27-10. About 5 minutes and a quarter in this second quarter. And ticking, so about just over 5 minutes remaining in this first half as the Wildcats lead 27-10. Marshall with it now. Jamar Robeson then gets it over to Knox for three. No good. Justin Hare with incredible verticality jumps up for the ball, grabs it with one hand, and then, like all good basketball fundamentals, he comes down with it with two. But Wildcats taking it back the other way, and Marshall got their hands on it before sending it out of bounds, so it'll stay with Sulphur Springs on the Marshall side of the court. So another good half-court opportunity here for Sulphur Springs as Justin Hare and Miles go out. Alexander for three. No good, but Bull does get the rebound. Cordier Turner back in the game, tries to get up a second chance shot, but it is taken away by Marshall. And now Harris dribbling around the Wildcat defenders near the top of the key, somewhere between midcourt and the top of the key, that is. Down in front of that Sulphur Springs bench, guarded by Caleb Alexander. And looks like Cordier Turner kind of intercepted the ball a bit simply by having his back turned towards it. But a turnover there by Marshall, and Sulphur Springs will have another chance to build on this 17-point lead. Marshall yet to score a field goal here in the second quarter. Luckily, the Wildcats have only scored 5 in this contest, a 3-pointer and a field goal. Otherwise, this could be a bit of a bit different complexion for this basketball game. Alexander gets it over to Branson Lynn. Lynn near the top of the key, then back to Alexander. Right back to Lynn. Playing a game of hot potato with Knox in the middle. And Corcha Turner gets it to Arrington. And Theo Filetis loses control of the ball, sends it out of bounds. It's a turnover there for Sulphur Springs under 4 minutes to go. Still a 17-point lead for Sulphur Springs at 27-10. Roberson being guarded by Cole. And wow, tries to put up a shot. That was a tough one. Did not fall there. Branson Lynn gets the rebound. Gets a bounce pass to Caleb Alexander on the far side. Nice pass there to Corcha Turner, but he has trouble coming down with it, and it's a turnover there. A second straight for Turner. Now Harris taking it back. Being guarded by Lynn, tries to drive all the way to the bucket. No good. Then Knox gets it behind the line. Then gets it to Roberson. Harris on the far side with the ball now, being guarded by Cole. Nice screen there by McCoy. Puts up the shot, and he gets it. So that's Harris with his first field goal in this game, and the first field goal of the second quarter for Marshall as they trail by 15 now at 27-12. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Cole with it. Then over to Arrington, then back to Cole for 3. No good. Bounced off the rim. Arrington tried to get his hands on it, but instead it was Marshall that grabbed it. So going the other way are the Mavericks, trailing by 15, 27-12. And it looked like Harris was fouled on the field goal attempt, and he sure was. It was Branson Lynn who was called for the personal foul, his first in this contest. And it'll be Harris now to see if he can't add some more points. Harris hits a field goal, or a free throw, I'm sorry. So now 3 points for him and a 14-point deficit for the Marshall Mavericks. Looking to go 2 for 2 from the line here if he can nail this one. And it bounces in and out of the rim, no good. So it stays a 14-point deficit for the Marshall Mavericks at 27-13. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Caleb Alexander with it for Sulphur Springs. Nice jump there by Corcha Turner, but Branson Lynn puts up a 3. And he gets it. His first field goal in this second quarter, and it's a 3-pointer. His third in the game, and all of his shots are 3-pointers. So quite the sharpshooter for Coach Brandon Shaver's team. And now it's Roberson with the ball. A far pass over to Knox for 3. Bounces in and out, no good, but Knox gets the rebound, trying to drive to the bucket. Corcha Turner somehow comes down with it, must have stolen the ball away. Sulphur Springs going the other way. Alexander has it. Lynn, pump fake, puts up a 3, and he does just that. He now has 4 3-pointers in this game, and 12 points. So Sulphur Springs with a 20-point lead at 33-13. It's ballooned thanks to 2 3-pointers from Branson Lynn, but Robinson gets his first field goal in this second quarter. 4 points for him now, but Marshall trails 33-15. And it looks like number 2, Knox, was called for the personal foul. And Knox subs out. And in comes number 12 for Marshall. So Branson Lynn after being fouled by Knox. We'll have 2 free throws coming up. Some more substitutions for Sulphur Springs. Lynn with an opportunity to get his first field goal here tonight. That is not a 3-pointer, and he does just that, hitting a free throw. And looking to go 2 for 2 from the line here. Lynn, his second free throw bounces in and out, so he will go 1 for 2 from the line and will stay at 13 points for number 0, the guard, Branson Lynn. Harris taking it back the other way for Marshall, trying to get something going. Portia Turner intercepts it, taking it back the other way as Sulphur Springs, but he turns it over. 2 sloppy possessions for both teams and 2 turnovers. So Sulphur Springs pressing, and number 12 puts up a 3, and he does just that. He gets a 3-pointer and his first bucket in this contest. Marshall trails by 16 now at 34-18. Long pass there to Jackson Darrow. Then over to Branson Lynn on the far side. Lynn gets it to Cason Arrington, then to Portia Turner. He puts up a really good field goal that was incredibly contested, but he does not get it, but he is fouled. So a couple of free throws coming up for the forward, Portia Turner. Turner's got 7 points here in this game. Looking to make it 8 and/or 9 if possible. And a big contributor to this Wildcat lead at 16 points, 34-18. His first free throw goes in and out, no good. Looking to go 1 for 2 if he can. And he does not. He goes 0 for 2 from the line. Cason Arrington does get the rebound, but he is fouled. There was fouled by number 1, Harris. As far as I can tell, that's his first personal foul in this game. And Marshall out fouling Sulphur Springs 10-6. Arrington nails his first free throw. He's got 3 points now. All 3 free throws made. And he goes 2 for 2 from the line. So now 4 points for Cason Arrington, all thanks to free throws. And I'm sure he'd like a few more buckets to his name, but under a minute to go here in the first half. Wildcats lead by 16, and Marshall trying to cut into that deficit some more. Wisenhunt, a couple of behind-the-back bounces to Arrington for a layup, and he nails it. So just as I was talking about how Arrington probably wants some more field goals, he gets just that as he hits his first non-free throw here in this game, and now has 6 points in the contest. Wildcats lead by 20 again, 38-18. Bounce pass there, and high pass there to number 12. Surprised he came down with it, or else that would have gone out of bounds. Harris trying to put up a shot. No good. Ooh, and Roberson tries to gets a great second chance opportunity to put in that field goal, but to no avail. So it stays a 20-point lead for Sulphur Springs in their district opener at 38-18. Great first half from the Wildcats basketball team. We're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, but when we return, we'll be talking about that first half and getting ready for the second half of the district opener coming up. I kind of need to go to the bathroom. Can I get a few minutes? Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, James. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team lead by 20 here in their district opener over the Marshall Mavericks. They lead 38-18. We've got about 4 minutes left on the halftime clock, and Sulphur Springs trailed at 1 point, 6-0 to Marshall. But Wildcats got some big scoring from their team, and pretty even scoring as well. As in the first quarter, Branson Lynn scored 6. Hare and Arrington both had 2. Malachi Miles with 4. Wisenhunt and Turner had 3 and 5 respectively for 22 points. Marshall was not that lucky in the first quarter, as they only had 10 points and then 8 in the second quarter. Wildcats kind of cooled down in the second as they only scored 16 to the first quarter's 22. But either way, Marshall wasn't able to chip into that lead as much as they would have liked to. In fact, it ballooned to 20 in the second quarter. So Marshall will no doubt try to come out hot in the third quarter and try and get back into this ball game, as they desperately are looking to get back into the win column at 3-9. On the other side, your Sulphur Springs Wildcats, they are 4-0 at home and 14-5. So looking to win their 15th game of 20 would be huge for Wildcats basketball. Winning another game at home would be huge. Avoiding a 2-game losing streak and getting the district win at home in their opener would all be huge for this Wildcat basketball team. Under 3 minutes to go on the halftime clock, so we're going to take a quick break, hear from some of our sponsors, but when we return, we will have the second half of the Wildcats basketball's district opener coming up. We've got 2.5, so why don't you give me, let's say 2. Yeah, give me enough time to catch my breath. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym. We're just about done with halftime here as the Wildcats basketball team lead by 20 over Marshall in their district opener. Wildcats had pretty even scoring in the first, in which they got 22 thanks to 6 scores, and then a little bit more dwindled down at 4 scores in the second, but still getting 16 points to develop that 20-point lead at 38-18 over Marshall. Under 20 seconds to go on that halftime clock, and we're about ready to see if Coach Brandon Shaver's squad can keep their pedal to the metal, or if the Marshall Mavericks will start to come back in this game, because in the second it started to balloon to a 20-point lead. So no doubt Marshall going to try and get a few easy buckets, build some confidence for this team led by Coach Bobby Carson, and see if they can't come back in this one. But Wildcats leading here pretty nicely at 20 points, 38-18. The sound you just heard was the clock's hitting the 000 for the halftime clock, and we are ready to begin this second half. Mavericks will start with the ball. Robinson looking for Roberson, but instead he defers to McCoy. McCoy between midcourt and the top of the key, now to White. White being guarded by Branson Lynn with his neon orange shoes. White trying to drive to the bucket, but he loses control of the ball, going the other way. Or it looks like he said it went out of bounds on Sulphur Springs, so it'll stay with Marshall. Number 11, Robinson, looking for a couple of options. He tries to get it to Knox, but Lynn looked like he might have gotten a hand on it. Might have messed up the timing there for that play. But White now being guarded by Arrington, a big man. Bit of a matchup issue for Kason Arrington, as no doubt he can guard guards, but you want a little bit more mobility, so White trying to take advantage of the switch, and nice no-look pass there to number 0, Geico McCoy, for the first bucket here in the third quarter, scored by Marshall. Now an 18-point deficit for Marshall at 38-20. Lynn looking to see if him and the Wildcats can't answer on offense. Looking for Hare in the paint. And wow, a beautiful shot there by the senior DBU signee, Justin Hare. Hare's now got 4 points in this game. And while he has been an incredible scorer for Sulphur Springs, wow, Wisenhunt with the steal and the dunk. My goodness. Wisenhunt gets another 2 quick points for Sulphur Springs, and now it's a 22-point lead. Wow, Arrington gets it to turn over, but then he gives it right back to the defender, Geico McCoy. Oh, that's a tough one there for Sulphur Springs, but it's back to a 20-point lead for Sulphur Springs at 42-22. Over 6.5 to go in this third. Wisenhunt bounce pass to Hare on the near side, outside the paint. Now he's walking it back to Lynn. Oh, and a spin move, and the layup by Branson Lynn. My word. Another quick basket there by Sulphur Springs, and it looks like, number 2 Knox had put up a really good three-pointer, but Marshall called a timeout before he got the chance to put it up. So we're going to take a quick timeout with these teams and return with more of the third quarter between Sulphur Springs and Marshall in men's basketball coming up. Just one. Welcome back to the SSHS main gym, and I know I say this a number of times throughout the game and just about every game, but thank you so much to James Terry back at the station for his perfect timing, and he's just so good at what he does. So thankful to have him, and thankful to have Wildcats basketball here at the main gym for their district opener, taking on Marshall. They have a 22-point lead, double the points that Marshall has. Marshall has 22, and the Wildcats at 44. Knox with it, then gives it to White. Right back to Knox for 3. And it looks like he was fouled, but they will not call it. They will call that foul, though. And it looks like that one will be called on Knox. And he will be called for the wrist grab. And it was a pretty blatant one at that, so be inbounded from Sulphur Springs now. Wisenhunt will have the honors under the Sulphur Springs basket. So Wisenhunt bounces it to Lynn, then right back to Wisenhunt in front of that Marshall bench. He's great in the fast break. Let's see what he can do here. Oh, and he gets denied the dunk opportunity. And ref took a moment to decide, but wisely called out of bounds against Marshall. Wisenhunt went up for the dunk, but and something not very characteristic for him, he just didn't have the air underneath him when he went up for the dunk. So he thought he was fouled, and fouled he was. Oh, back over to Wisenhunt near the top of the key, then to Justin Hare. Hare just outside the paint on the far side, and wow, a beautiful one-legged fadeaway. Am I watching Justin Hare or Dirk Nowitzki? I kid, but both very talented forwards. Marshall with the ball now, trailing by 24 at 46-22. Three-point play here. They didn't get it, and wow, a quick chance for Marshall to get the ball in. A couple of really good chances for Sulphur Springs to get the ball back, but Marshall somehow stayed with it, trying to get some points here. Roberson, no good. And Hare fouled. And it will be called against number 0, Geico McCoy. I believe that's 2 fouls for McCoy here in this third quarter. And I believe it is because he has been subbed out. So Sulphur Springs with the ball now. Branson Lynn with his man Roberson. Ooh, looks like he might have traveled, but they said the bucket was good on the layup, and we will call it as much. So a 26-point lead for Sulphur Springs as they are looking to really, maybe not so much pour it on, but really take control of this game. Corcher Turner gets a turnover, gets it to Justin Hare. Hare to Arrington, and ooh, just a little bit too quick on the pass from Hare to Arrington, trying to somehow contort his body, turn around, and pass it to the man on the behind the line in front of that Sulphur Springs bench. But no good there. I'll say a 26-point lead under 5 minutes to go in the third. Wildcats lead 48-22. And Lynn with the steal. Wisenhunt all alone. And he gets the dunk. Another dunk for Parker Wisenhunt, and now he has 7 points in this contest. 4 minutes and 20 seconds in this third. 3-point attempt from Marshall, no good. 14 comes down with it, that's Carlos Hill. Sulphur Springs taking it back the other way. It's Lynn to Corcher Turner, and off the hands of Turner and out of bounds. Right back to Marshall. And now it'll be Marshall's turn with the ball. Roberson inbounds it to Harris. Then right back to Roberson. Then back to Harris. Once again to Roberson. Now over to number 12 behind the line. And Lynn tries to intercept it, but no good. Over to White for 3. Off the far side of the rim for him. No good. Sulphur Springs comes down with it. Hare looking to go coast to coast. Gets it to Lynn. Double teamed. And a big pass there to Parker Wisenhunt in front of Sulphur Springs bench. Turner being double teamed, now triple teamed. And now Arrington somehow gets the rebound. It looks like it might have been tipped by a Marshall defender there. Wisenhunt gets it right below the rim. Oh my God! Behind the rim, he put the bucket in. Oh my word! Parker Wisenhunt somehow put the bucket in from behind the basket and over the top of the basket and into the net. My goodness, and he was fouled. So a 3-point play for Wisenhunt. My word. And he does just that, gets the 3-point play as his scoring has really ballooned in this third quarter as the Wildcats are blowing out Marshall. Coach Carson of Marshall has no choice but to call a timeout, so we're going to take a timeout with them. Over 3 minutes to go in the third, and the Wildcats lead big, 53-22. We'll be right back. Yes. Okay, give me one more. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the main gym here in Sulphur Springs as the Wildcats basketball team lead big over Marshall 53-22. Just 3 seconds left to go on the timeout clock as we are ready to get the action back underway in the third quarter. 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third. Harris looking for a quick play and trying to get a bounce pass to his player, number 11, Robinson, but it's no good. Sulphur Springs comes down with it. It's Justin Hare, then gets to Caleb Alexander, then over to Wisenhunt. Full court press from Marshall here. Lynn has some trouble handling the ball, but instead with a floater, and he drills it. Lynn with 19 points in this game. He is the leading scorer for Coach Brandon Shaver's Sulphur Springs squad, and a long pass to number 12 for three. In and out of the rim, no good. 11 with the second chance points, and he is fouled by Justin Hare. So number 11, Robinson, will have 2 free throws coming up. Robinson's got just 2 points in this contest. I'm sorry, 4 points in this contest. Robinson's first free throw is no good. So had some substitutions from Sulphur Springs, but now Robinson with the second free throw here. Once again in and out. But wow, the second chance points from DeMar Roberson, and he gets his first field goal in the third. Only the third shot made by Marshall this quarter, as they only have 6 points. And wow, Corcher Turner fouled there by White. As Turner was looking to turn around and maybe get a layup as he was already in the paint. Lynn gets the inbound from Wisenhunt, trying to keep it in bounds as he toe on the line, and he is called for the offensive foul. So ball going the other way now for Marshall. A 31-point lead for Sulphur Springs, 2.5 minutes exactly in this third. Wildcats lead 55-24, and a deep pass there to White for three. No good. Wisenhunt tries to get the rebound. Instead, it's Jackson Darrow who gets the number, and now Caleb Alexander gets the pass from Darrow. He is fouled by White, and that's 2 quick personal fouls for White. So I'm thinking he'll probably sub out here in just a moment. And Darrow defers to Caleb Alexander, who's taking the pass midcourt. And it looks like Sulphur Springs taking their time as Alexander gets the call from Coach Shaver. Not being pressed by his man. So Alexander's got time. Near the top of the key, right in front of Sulphur Springs and their bench. To Turner. Oh, and Turner loose control of the ball. Turnover there. And now Marshall taking it back the other way. It's still leading by 31. Sulphur Springs is at 55-24. A minute and a half to go in this third. Harris driving to the bucket. No good. Turner gets the rebound. Lynn guarded by Harris past midcourt. Does a nice spin move around his defender. Jackson Darrow gets the ball. And wow, intercepted at the last second there by number 12 for Marshall. Going the other way is White for the Mavericks. And DeMar Roberson is fouled by Branson Lynn. 2 quick personal fouls by Branson Lynn, and he's probably going to have to come out here, and it looks like he will as Cole Theophilidis is about to sub in. Lynn no doubt upset with himself after giving up 2 quick personal fouls to Marshall. First free throw from DeMar Roberson is no good. Second free throw for Roberson coming up. He's got 8 points in this contest, looking to make it 9 if he can nail this one. No good. Bull Turner tries to get the rebound. Instead, he gives it right back to Marshall. Roberson defers to a Maverick in that near corner. Darrow with a nice rebound to send it the other way for Sulphur Springs. Alexander looking for Turner. Over to Bull. And lose control of the possession. Mavericks starting to take it back the other way, and it's DeMar Roberson trying to go coast to coast, and he does just that. 10 points now for DeMar Roberson of Marshall, as it's a 29-point deficit for Marshall at 55-26. Darrow for three, and he drills it. His first bucket in this game, and it's a greatly timed three-point made. Sulphur Springs leading now by 32 at 58-26. DeMar Roberson, far past there to Carlos Hill, then right back to Roberson, guarded by Bull Turner, trying to take advantage of this matchup. One-legged fadeaway, no good. 12 puts up a shot. And they'll say his shot was good. So that's the end of the third as the Wildcats lead by 30 over Marshall in their district opener, 58-28. We're going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors, but when we return, we will have the beginning of the fourth quarter between these two teams coming up. Perfect. Welcome back to the main gym here at Sulphur Springs High School as the Wildcats basketball team have a big lead over Marshall in their district opener. They lead 58-28, a 30-point deficit. Now we're here in the fourth quarter, and Corcher Turner gets the call near the top of the key. Over to Bull, then to Darrow, far side, trying to drive for a layup, and he gets it. So Darrow had no points scored in the first two quarters, but now he's got 5. As here in early in the fourth quarter, and it seems like Coach Shaver is deferring to his bench as number 11 puts down a 3. That's Robinson. And it looks like the Wildcats just turned the ball over. So it'll be another possession for Marshall. White with it, being guarded by Cole, and White loses control of the ball. Robinson comes down with it, and second chance opportunity for Robinson, but he loses control of the ball. Wildcats come down with it, leading by 29, 60-30, and Alexander almost loses control of the ball. Cole out, Theo Philetus picks it up, starts taking it back the other way, but he's called for the double dribble. So just over 7 minutes to go in this contest. The game comfortably in hand for the Wildcats at 60-31. So lots of time, which is I'm sure what Coach Bobby Carson and his Mavericks coaching staff are thinking right now. Just need some threes to energize your team, and Bull is called for the foul as Roberson try to go up for the layup. That's Bull's second personal foul in this contest. And if Sulphur Springs isn't careful, they could be at the, if they foul Marshall one more time, they'll be at the same number of personal fouls with the Marshall Mavericks. Marshall with the edge right now at 5-4. Some substitutions for the Wildcats as Corcher Turner comes out, and in comes Malachi Miles. And Roberson goes 1 for 2 from the line. And now taking it back for Sulphur Springs is Caleb Alexander, driving all the way to the rim, and he gets the layup. his second field goal in this game. One was a three-pointer and now just a regular field goal, so he's got 5 in this contest. Harris with the ball, being guarded by Malachi Miles. Nice screen there from Marshall, as Harris is able to evade his defender, Caleb Alexander. White now has it, trying to drive all the way to the rim. Is under the rim shot, no good. Nice second effort there, and a third opportunity here for Marshall. White near the top of the key, being guarded by Cole, and he loses man Cole, and now number 11 all alone for 3. Shot's no good. Caleb Alexander and the Wildcats box out the lone defender in the paint as they get the rebound, start taking it back. Malachi Miles with it, then over to Cole, then to Caleb here on the near side, somewhere between midcourt and the top of the key, and Harris is called for the hold. So Sulphur Springs will inbound it. And instead, we'll get a timeout on the court. So we're going to take a timeout with both these teams. And when we return, we'll have more of Wildcats basketball here in the fourth quarter, taking on the Marshall Mavericks in their district opener. We'll be right back. Two. Back to the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team are routing the Marshall Mavericks 62-32 here on their home court in both teams' district opener. Coach Braden Shaver talked about earlier in this season how important home games were and defending home were. And now the Wildcats are well on their way to being 5-0 at home. Nice pass there to Caleb Alexander. Puts up a 3, and he gets it. Caleb Alexander with that 3, he's made 2 and another field goal as he currently has 8 for the Wildcats. Harris passes to Roberson, being guarded by Bull Turner. Alexander guarding his man Roberson. Roberson's able to lose Alexander, but now on the switch, Harris is being guarded by Alexander. Harris puts up the shot, takes a couple of bounces, but it goes in. Harris now with 5 points in this game for the Marshall Mavericks. And Sulphur Springs still with a 30-point lead at 31, leading 65-34. Alexander gets to Cole, and he loses control of it. And just try to get a hand on it in both hands, planting his feet, but instead sending out of bounds. Turnover there for the Wildcats. And it looks like we've got a substitution here for Sulphur Springs. And Jaquan Jones will come in now for Cole Theophilides. Jones in his first appearance here in this game versus Marshall. Wildcats still lead by 31, just over 5 minutes to go in this game. Sulphur Springs lead 65-34. Roberson going coast to coast, but he is fouled. Looks like Jaquan Jones was the one who fouled him. And he was shoved. Roberson hits a free throw. Now he's got 12 points in the game. And Second free throw is no good for Roberson. Sulphur Springs comes down with it, taking it back the other way. Malachi Miles has got it. Miles trying to shake his defender Roberson, and he kicked it out of bounds. Turnover there for Sulphur Springs. And Marshall now looking to potentially take this game in 30 as they trail 65-35. 4.5 to go in the fourth. Jaquan Jones guarding Roberson, and he not only gets the bucket, but he gets fouled. Six fouls apiece for both teams. Roberson. His free throw's no good. Jaquan Jones gets the board. Gives it to his point guard, Caleb Alexander. Alexander now being double teamed. Bull Turner almost loses control of the ball. Darrow gets it for three. No good. McCoy gets the rebound. Taking it back the other way is Roberson, and he gets the layup. Roberson now has 16 points in this contest, and Malachi Miles is fouled. 2 free throws coming up for Miles. And it was called against White. Miles' first free throw, no good. The guard has 4 points in this game. 2 field goals, both in the first. And looking to get another point here in the fourth if he can make his 5th point in a free throw. And he does just that. Malachi Miles now with 5 in this game. And under 4 minutes to go in this contest. Roberson's got it. And Jaquan Jones taking it back the other way. Oh, his shot's no good. Just narrowly fell out. Harris for Marshall taking it back the other way. Travel. And he is called for as such. Nice inbound pass there to Bull Turner. Malachi Miles has got it. Over to Darrow. Pump fake. Puts up the mid-ranger. No good. Does not fall. McCoy gets the rebound. Gives it to Roberson. Marshall going back the other way. Roberson tries to get the shot. No good. And one thing I will say, I know this game hasn't gone the way that the Mavericks have wanted it, but their big men are really good at timing when to jump up and go for the board. As Geico McCoy gets a 3-pointer. Becomes a 24-point lead for Sulphur Springs at 66-42. Jermaine Cleveland gets the pass from Malachi Miles, and he is called for the travel. Another turnover there for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats still lead by 24 at 66-42, and have such a comfortable lead that they've only made three buckets and a free throw this quarter and still lead comfortably. Under 4 to go. Sulphur Springs leading 66-42. Jermaine Cleveland guarding Harris. And it's intercepted by Bull Turner going back the other way. McCoy's the only man to beat. And he is fouled. Geico McCoy. A big foul there of Bull Turner. And as a result, Bull Turner will inbound it. Calls Malachi Miles' number, then over to Jaquan Jones. And a long 3. He drills it. Nothing but money on that one. As his first shot for Jaquan Jones comes in the fourth. Wildcats lead by 27, 69-42. Nice banking layup for DeMar Roberson. As he's had himself quite the fourth quarter. Jermaine Cleveland gets the ball. One man to beat. Oh my goodness, 2 Wildcats went up for the ball, and 1 came down with it. Wow, a couple of sloppy possessions for Sulphur Springs. But somehow it looks like maybe Sulphur Springs will keep the ball. Yep, being that Marshall has fouled Sulphur Springs 8 times, the Wildcats are in the bonus. Under 2 minutes to go in this district opener for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats as they lead big over Marshall, 69-44. Bull Turner trying to see if he can't get his first points in this game. He does just that with a free throw. Seeing if he can't go 2 for 2 and extend this lead a bit for the Sulphur Springs. Wildcats now have 70 points in this contest at 70-44. And Bull's second free throw goes in and out of the net, no good. So a 70-44 lead over Marshall. And Roberson gets the ball away to Harris, then right back to Roberson. Being guarded by Bull Turner. Now 11 puts up a shot, no good. Robinson gets a second opportunity, and he gets it. So Robinson gets the bucket and now has the chance to get a 3-point play here if he can hit the free throw. Robinson's been a solid starter for Marshall this game, as he's got 9 points in this contest. And now looking to see if he can't get 10. In and out, no good. Bull gets it to Miles. Oh, and he loses the ball. Picked away by Marshall, and Roberson's fouled by Jermaine Cleveland. It's Cleveland's first personal foul in this game. Just over a minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter as the Wildcats basketball team lead big here over Marshall, 70-46, a 24-point lead for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Roberson, 1 for 1 from the line at this point. I'm sorry, now he is 3 for 3 from the line, looking to go 4 for 4. And he does that. Hits 2 free throws, and the Wildcats' lead is just 22 points now. Malachi Miles gets the ball and is quickly fouled by 2 Mavericks. Or I guess Miles lost control of the ball because Marshall has it, and quick 3, no good. Porter Turner gets it to Jaquan Jones. Jaquan trying to take it all the way to the rim, and he does it. 5 points for Jones in this fourth quarter as the Wildcats basketball team lead again by 24 at 72-48. 8 fouls apiece for both teams, and Roberson loses control of the ball. Goes back past midcourt, and it will be a half-court violation. Wildcats now with the ball. Just over a minute to go, leading by 24, 72-48. Malachi Miles gets it, trying to get the ball and put up a shot, but he was fouled. It was Knox who was called for the personal foul. And Knox is being subbed out by White. And Malachi Miles hits a free throw. Looking to go 2 for 2 from the line at this point. He does not, but Jaquan Jones gets the rebound. Trying to see if he can't beat 2 men somehow. Looked, he was trying to voice his thoughts that it went out on Marshall, so it'd stay with the Wildcats, and it did. Jones gets it to Bull Turner. Turner near the three-point line, or in between the three-point line and midcourt. Gets to Jones. Jones puts up a really toughly contested shot. Does not fall. Marshall gets the rebound, taking it back the other way is Roberson. Looking to get did not have the air underneath him to get the dunk. Turner gets it to Miles, and just 35 seconds left to go on this clock, and Sulphur Springs looks to be draining the clock out as Jermaine Cleveland gets the ball. Cleveland just trying to shake and bake his defenders to the best of his ability as Bull gets it to Miles. Miles gets it to Darrow. Darrow right back to Miles. 12 seconds left on the clock, and this game looks like it is over. But instead, Miles was pressed intensely by two defenders for Marshall and sent it back the other way. So the Mavs will get one last chance with the ball and 10 seconds to go. I apologize to all of our listeners and viewers. Miles was fouled, so he has another chance from the line coming up. Just 10 seconds left to go on the clock. Miles nails that free throw. Seeing if he can go 3 for 4 from the line in this quarter alone. He does that. Going 3 for 4 from the line this quarter, or rather 4 for 5. Miles trying to defend his man White. White gets 2 good looks, but does not hit either of them, and that will do it here at the SSHS main gym as the Wildcats basketball team blow out the Marshall Mavericks 75-48 in both teams' district opener. An impressive win for the Wildcats basketball team. And we're going to take a quick break here from some of our sponsors, but when we return, we will have a full analysis of this game coming up. Why don't you give me 3? Welcome back to the main gym here at Sulphur Springs High School as the Wildcats basketball team blew out their district opponent Marshall in their district opener. They had a huge game in which at first they trailed 6-0, but then the Wildcats were able to storm back and take a huge 22-10 lead going into the second. From there, the Wildcats kept pouring it on as even though Sulphur Springs only scored 16 in the second to the Mavericks 8, they still had a very comfortable 20-point margin at 38-18. From there, Sulphur Springs just kept putting up points, and Marshall didn't have all the answers for it. So as a result, Marshall fell 75-48. The Wildcats had really even scoring from their team as of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players on the varsity roster, only 2 did not score. So 10 players scored for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Sulphur Springs was led in scoring by Branson Lynn, who put up 13 points in the first half and got 6 more in the third, all field goals each. Next up, Justin Hare and Kason Arrington both finished with 6. Caleb Alexander had 8 points, and so did Malachi Miles. Jackson Darrow had 5. Wisenhunt was the second highest scorer for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats with 10. And then Cortrick Turner and Jaquan Jones had 7 and 5 respectively, and Bull Turner rounded out scoring for Sulphur Springs with a free throw. That's how you get the 75 points for the Wildcats. Marshall did everything they could playing until the final whistle, but The Wildcats were just the better team here tonight, and you saw that for 4 quarters. So Sulphur Springs Wildcats now sit at 15-5 with a 1-0 district record, winning their district opener again here at the main gym versus Marshall. And on top of that, they avoid a 2-game losing streak, and they are now 5-0 at home. So a great home start for this team, and no doubt they're going to hope to carry that success over into next week when they have the Allen tournament, in which the Wildcats basketball team will be reunited with their former head coach, Clark Cipolletta. That's Monday and Tuesday. It may be Wednesday as well, but definitively Monday and Tuesday. So for folks who don't have plans, the Monday and Tuesday following Christmas, just about a week from today, head over to Allen, Texas, and go watch the Wildcats basketball team take on their former coach, Clark Cipolletta. But that'll do it for us here at the main gym. With your play-by-play, I'm Ross Lubinsky. Shooting video for us is Doug Haston, and our station manager, making everything you hear possible and sound absolutely amazing, is James Terry. That'll do it for us here at the main gym. We'll see y'all next time, everyone.